So welcome. I am here today with my friend Serena, Dr. Kate Oland, talking to my friend Serena about a course she's taken. I'm so interested in learning more. I definitely need more of this in my life. So Serena, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes. So Serena, tell us a little bit about yourself. Particularly, I'm interested to know what your clinical background is.
So I am a biodynamic craniosacral therapist. Started as a massage therapist at 18 years old. So this is the only healing field that I have done as a grown-up.
So started as a massage therapist for how long before you got into craniosacral?
Over 15 years.
Okay.
I encountered craniosacral during my basic massage program at Utah College of Massage Therapy, and immediately knew that that was a very powerful nervous system care for myself, and then had to go have some more life experiences to really be able to step into that specialty.
Yeah.
So it became the main focus of my practice back in 2019.
Okay. So you've been doing this for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
Over 20 years.
So I want to step back for just a second. Biodynamic cranial sacral therapy. That is a mouthful.
It can be.
Yeah.
Shorten it up to BCST.
So why don't you tell us just a little bit about what those words mean?
Yeah. So craniosacral therapy starts with the cranium and the sacrum and that dura mater below that is holding the cerebral spinal fluid. So that cerebral spinal fluid is bringing all of the nourishment into our central nervous system and has a natural rhythm to it as it is cushioning around our brain, flowing down our spinal cord, and then returning again. So this creates a fluid rhythm known as the cranial rhythmic impulse.
Cranial rhythmic impulse. I think, have I heard that described as something else, like the flow of energy, or are those terms that I've heard also?
So I'm very fascinated with how all of the other modalities kind of intersect. On top of this, that there's a lot of crossover between myofascial release and the craniosacral world. And it shows up in a lot of the old osteopathic texts.
Okay, so there might be some other language that's used for this technique as well as maybe other techniques that are similar.
Yes.
But let's focus on biodynamic craniosacral. So I think you described a craniosacral, the CRI. So, but biodynamic is a subspecialty of craniosacral therapy also, right? So it's like a specialty of a specialty.
Yeah, so it was developed by Franklin Sills primarily, and several other contributing godfathers of the work over the years. But biodynamic is acknowledging the energetic forces of primary respiration, kind of that rhythm of the planet, that spirit element that comes into the treatment room and things begin to shift and change. And the client's own inherent health and well-being kind of steps forward and shows us a reorganization. So the osteopathic cranial osteopaths and Dr. Upledger with the Upledger Institute really focused a lot on the biomechanical, how we are feeling the movement of the bones and the movement of those fluids, and how we can offer the body an opportunity to make an adjustment. Developing those advanced biodynamic skills, for me, allowed me as a practitioner to kind of get out of the way and trust the movements of the body's intelligence to make shifts and changes.
Oh, okay, that was so much fascinating information, and you just have that up in your brain all the time. It's impressive.
So I am working towards becoming a teacher for biodynamic work.
It all makes sense.
So I really enjoy talking about the details of it, and how we become practitioners over the 3 to the rest of my lifetime of learning in these environments.
Right. So you just said a term. Was it primary respiration or primary inspiration?
Primary respiration.
Respiration. Yeah. I was just reading an article about primary respiration and how it relates to myofascial release, and how, that is, the article I was reading was talking, I think the language could have been interchangeable with cellular respiration as well, about how the cells, every cell of our body needs nutrition and hydration and oxygenation. Is that relating to the concepts you're speaking of?
Yeah, there's a concept in cranial that every drop knows the tide. So it is the individual cells are working at the same or a similar pattern as the whole.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So that's been your clinical background for a while. And where are you practicing out of these days?
So I'm located down in Spring, Texas, and I have my own practice that is Highest Serenity Bodywork. I specialize in infants and pediatrics, so I get to spend a lot of time with little ones that are so close to source and able to shift and change things in their nervous system in a much different way. And I get to begin that nervous system care really early on in life, as well as being there for the moms.
Yes.
You know, as a mom of two myself, when I had that second kiddo, I just did not have the support system. And I discovered kind of the hard way how much my nervous system was trying to juggle and handle while co-regulating with a little one. And so it's really important to me that I get to serve those populations.
Absolutely. And I
with
think
this work.
You know, I want to just honor the connection between the nervous system and the emotional system. Because if we can regulate our nervous system, we are so much better able to regulate our emotions, which drives behavior and choice. And I think that's where our generation is really doing the work right now, trying so hard to learn these skills for the betterment of our kids.
Yeah, we have access to new information, and we are able to update the programming and kind of the nervous system set points that we inherited from our parents, engaging in the reparenting process of it and signaling safety for ourselves before we try and tell the 2-year-old that they're safe. This biology of the first thing we do is we smile at a baby. And we hold them close, and our nervous systems interact in that touch format.
That attachment.
That
attachment, that primary bond. Well, that's beautiful work you're doing. You are, in my mind, you are saving the future. So that's so interesting. But now we are here to talk about a class that you have been taking. Remind me, what's the name of this class?
So it's called Good with Money.
Oh, please. I need it.
We're going to be so good with our money.
Okay.
We're going to be besties.
Okay. Listen, I'm on board. Let me hop on this train right now.
Yeah. So as somebody who talks about nervous system all day long, regulating my own nervous system is a high priority. And nothing would get me more dysregulated than trying to talk about money with my husband.
Let me tell you.
Every cell of my body suddenly clenches and would go into really old patterns that have to do with how my parents operated with money and the stories and belief systems that my family of origin had around financial exchanges.
A lot of emotions.
Yes.
Some and the emotions that come to my mind aren't necessarily the positive ones. Fear, stress, anxiety, protection. Those are the first words that pop into mind.
And those are all sympathetic responses from the nervous system. So as a small child, when the parents are having a financial discussion, our biology is going to latch on to those things we need to survive. And it imprints at a deeper level, whereas we might not get the same imprint into our nervous system of being handed lunch. That was abundant, but we didn't notice it because it wasn't tied to I'm surviving or I'm not surviving. So when I came across Kate Northrup's, her first book was Money, a Love Story. And I immediately, back in 2016, my ears were piqued and I wanted to know more of how money could be a love story instead of this
fear story.
Fear story, exactly. So I began studying her work back in 2016.
So let's just back up. So you said Kate Northrup, and she teaches the class.
Yes.
Good with Money. And is Kate related to this lady? Is it Christiane Northrup?
Christiane Northrup is her mother. So Kate was raised around Louise Hayes and the women's empowerment and women's health worlds, and has quite a story of her own of how having such a famous mother
Yeah.
impacted her belief systems around money and visibility and creating a place for her.
Yes. So as we were
world.
preparing for this interview, we realized that this book by Kate Northrup was on my shelf, and then it was her daughter that was teaching the class we were coming together to talk about today. I picked up this book at a used bookstore. I thought it just looked interesting, called Women's Body, Women's Wisdom, and I haven't read it, but I'm looking forward to thumbing through it at some point in time because this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
So her daughter
Mm-hmm.
is the one teaching this class that
Yeah.
and I think you mentioned you've taken it more than once.
Yes. So I entered into it about 3 years ago. The first time I signed up, she does an annual free workshop every April because she's an Aries woman.
Aries,
so we are
yes.
here to make shifts and changes during
Yeah.
this Aries season.
Yes.
And the first time that I did it quietly. I did it by myself. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it, and immediately saw some big expansions into a new office for my business spaces, and took me another year to decide to move forward with her full program that's called Relaxed Money.
Oh, relaxed money. That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Does that mean passive income? Is that the same thing?
No,
Okay.
not exactly.
Okay.
Because we're aiming and building skill sets that allow us to feel relaxed at every point of our money journey.
Yeah.
So passive income sounds really relaxed,
right?
And it definitely helps to have
Yeah.
income just flowing to you. But it also feels really good to engage in conversation and inspiration with other people that brings value into my world.
Yeah, I love that. So you took the class for the first time in 16, saw some immediate changes, and I don't want to spoil the class, right? But can you give me like a snippet? Give me an example of something that you think might have helped you manifest those changes.
Yeah. So one of the things I love about this approach is it brings together both the energetics of money, how are we feeling about it, and law of attraction and acknowledging some of that manifesting world. And it also brings together the engineering pieces that we need structure to hold up the flow that we want to bring through in abundance. So it has given me and my husband the structure of weekly money love dates where we know on a calendar when we're going to talk about the financial decisions, when we are going to make our money moves and clear the air instead of trying to fit it in between kiddo interruptions and on the way to swim team. And it gives us a structure. So to me, this balance and this marriage between the desire to float through life and have everything provided for me and having, an oar. So I'm kind of steering where we're going a little bit as well has been the game changer.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Money love date.
Yeah.
Yes. I could see where that would be so helpful to be mentally prepared for it, to create the right headspace, and to be able to sit down and be able to talk about it. So if someone doesn't have a partner, do you think that there's still room for them to learn strategies in this class?
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you are an entrepreneur and you are in the healing field, taking care of others. We are still having money conversations with every single client. It is one of those frequently asked questions. First things people need to know is what is the value exchange that we're making when I set up an appointment with you.
You bring that up, and this just takes me back a flashback. So I started my own private practice in 2020, and one of my very first clients was a hairdresser. And she came in, and we had her session. She was going to pay me, and I admitted to her, I said, "Oh, I still feel really nervous talking about this with clients." And she's like, "Oh, girl, you gotta get over that." I was like, "I know, I know," but it was that imposter syndrome. Who am I to charge this much money? And at the time, it was not the rates I charge right now, right?
Yeah.
So I had to step into that confidence of this is valuable, and and owning that.
Yeah. And I see so many practitioners freeze in that moment. And I appreciate her prompt to just get over it.
Yeah.
What this option is going to do is give you some ways to signal safety to your body. Because when we just get over it, we're pushing ourselves past the warning signs that say we maybe aren't safe. So the deep dive into our money beliefs gives us a chance to kind of excavate and clear the clutter out of the room so that we can be feeling safe and solid in our body when we have those conversations with people, which only moves us more into a co-regulation with our clients.
Right.
It gives them a steady place. I know how this interaction is going to go, and I'm not left out in the wind.
Yeah. You know, so I attend the John Barnes School of Myofascial Release, and John has spoken often about how we need to become grounded and centered before we put our hands on someone, because whatever's going on in us is going to transfer to them. And also being grounded helps protect us not take on their stuff as well. And that is so important. But you have to be prepared, because every time that client interaction ends, you do have to have that exchange. Or it's even, maybe the exchange itself doesn't have to happen, maybe it's automated, but you have to kind of acknowledge that this was a service and it's reimbursed through money.
And I like that word, exchange. So many of it's a financial exchange, it's an information exchange, it's that connection between people.
It's another way for us to connect.
Yeah.
So you took it for the first time in 2016, and you've taken it 2 other times since then. What called you back to it?
So as my nervous system gets more regulated, I expand my capacity. So when my capacity is expanded, now I can go a little bit deeper. Instead of a surface cleaning the dust off, we're actually pulling some things out of the cabinet. What do we need? What do we reuse? Where's that going to go? Kind of thing. So each time that I come back to this work, first of all, Kate's work is always evolving. She is reading something new, learning from her friends and her circle all the time. So her content shifts and evolves, and the quantum level that she's playing at right now has got me really excited for this next round. And there's always refinements to be made. We don't set our money in one way and then expect it to be the same for the rest of our lives. A new phase of children leaving the house or retiring or expanding the business is going to require a new set of systems, an updated system.
So when is this next class starting?
So it begins April 9th.
Ooh, that's a great day.
It is.
That is this Aries birthday.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So lots of Aries energy.
Lots of Aries energy.
Because I think, did I hear you have a birthday tomorrow?
We are unofficially declaring today my Aries birthday.
Okay, well, happy birthday.
I am an Aries rising.
Okay.
So I am a Cancer sun, soft and caring and nurturing, but I also have a drive of who I am out in the world that really resonates with the Aries energy. So
yes, we got a room full of Aries in here today, y'all.
Yes.
So if someone wanted to join this class, which you said in April, it's a free course.
It is. It's a free course. It's a 3-day workshop experience that's going to give you the body of work and the journaling prompts and the inner reflection to update that money ecosystem. Okay.
I've been working with my coach.
Okay.
So Jake Seabach, this is for you. I've been working on, he's my business coach, manifestation through journaling. So I feel like this is just the universe saying, hey, Kate, here you go. Here's another way to make this happen.
Absolutely. And when we're investing in mentors and business coaches and coaching programs, we're just adding that value to all of our interactions as well. So there's a link to join. You can specifically join through what I'm calling the Good with Money Gathering that is going to receive some extra bonuses for participating within my group. And we'll be doing lots of dance parties and one-on-one support. So as somebody who has gone through this work a few times, I'm just a little on the journey already and inviting more people, because I want to talk about this with everyone. Every phone call, I would like us to do a nervous system regulating tool before we leap into our business discussions and our collaborations kind of thing.
As another body worker, I think that sounds like a great idea. I think if every person, every worker incorporated nervous system regulation into their own body, their work would be better. Their teamwork would be better. Their individual work would be better.
It's such a natural fit for body workers and the community that I've been a part of my whole adult life to be using the safety and the nervous system tools as a part of our money conversations.
Yes. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is coming up, for the audience to catch you all up. I am expanding some businesses right now, and it shows in my relationship with my partner. And this is just calling to me. This is what we need, because it does bring, anytime you're having a change, it brings up, changes. Well, let's see, let me be a wordsmith. Change can be challenging. And when we get challenged, we get outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that can cause dysregulation.
Yeah.
So,
and acknowledging some of the contraction and expansion, and just like we have a natural rhythm of our breaths and a natural rhythm of our heart, our life experiences goes through expansion being just as scary as contraction is. For several of us early in our 20s, we get real good at how to survive in contraction. It starts to be our default. I know how to hustle and make the money and that kind of thing. So then when we are a little further on in life and we're expanding and creating these great things, it can be a surprise that your nervous system doesn't quite feel safe out here either. And where is your nervous system going back to that familiar hell over the unfamiliar heaven?
The familiar hell over the unfamiliar heaven. I'm quoting that. I'm putting that in quotes. It's a sign that's going to go up on my wall.
Yeah, it honors that the body's going to have a response no matter which side of the pattern you're on. And the point of nervous system regulation is not to be calm and meditative zen the whole time. It's to have that window of tolerance that allows you ooh, this is exciting, we're in Aries season, and let's calm down and relax back down as well. And to know that you're safe in both speeds.
Absolutely. Yes, that's beautiful. So as you're speaking and talking about the contraction and expansion, in my mind, I went back to that cerebral spinal fluid and that primary respiration, right? Contracting and expanding. I love this conversation, how we're just interweaving how our bodies respond, how they function, and how they respond to words like money. Yeah. So if this calls to our listeners, how can they get signed up with you?
So there is a link that I can drop below in show notes. I don't know that I can say it out real quick.
We will have a link connected to this reel somehow.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Follow the link and get yourself in.
Okay. And the first, and let's say I'm not available right when the workshop is occurring. What happens?
So you do have a limited time replay window, because the full workshop will go from the 9th to the 16th. Okay. So I believe you'll have access until the 20th for all of the replay information.
Is there interaction that occurs during, is it a Zoom or like a call-in situation?
Yeah, so it's an online Zoom room that we're all joining in. So there's a beautiful group of women, mostly women, that are joining, that'll be in the chat group. And then our gathering group will have a separate signal chat as well, to get off of the social media and just be talking amongst ourselves.
Okay. So it sounds like you and Kate are working together. You've created your own little cohort, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm a cohort within her bigger in class. As well.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I feel like I have lots to learn.
I'm really glad to have you along on the journey.
Yeah.
I hear your name a lot from my dear best friend that gets to do different projects here with you.
Well, and I can say she's the most incredible craniosacral therapist that's ever worked on me. Because I've never had the work of my friend Serena here. But for those that are listening, my friend Casey Combs-Luker is also in the room. She set us up to do this interview, and she is the cranial queen. So she getting work from her. So getting craniosacral work, and some of the things you were talking about, the expansion, man, when I get regular work, I feel like my ability to respond appropriately expands. And when I say appropriately, I mean calm, centered, grounded. Maybe not always appropriate. That's not what I'm claiming, but I can respond with a little bit more clarity.
Yeah, and we can respond to things from a centered and grounded place, whether we are calm or whether we are excited.
Yes.
So the centered and aware of our embodied experience. It just makes a lot of sense to put the cranial sacral work with the money work from this approach.
And I have one more question that I'm going to ask you, and it might open up a whole nother can of worms, and that's fine because we're here for the conversation, right?
Absolutely.
So as a body worker, you seem so passionate to get other body workers in on this course with you.
Mm-hmm.
What's that inspiration?
Oh, I have been chasing this dream since 2008 or so. I love being successful myself, but I would much rather be in a cooperative group that is successful. So it's the raising tide rises all boats up. I spent a lot of years working for Massage Envy. I really wanted to, I was grateful at the time as a single mom that it created a paycheck and a job for me. And then I quickly saw the people around me still not making enough money and struggling and being mistreated, and just thought I could heal the world by being a manager. And that burned me out real quick. That was not sustainable.
No, it's not. I think being a manager in healthcare, and I consider good body workers healthcare workers, I think being a manager in healthcare right now will just kill you.
Yeah.
Because,
it's not a great spot. I did it for years, but again, the motivation was always, I want to create good, sustainable jobs, good paychecks, and a good balance for fellow massage therapists out there. And I've been searching how to do that for a while. So after I got really burnt out trying to do management at Massage Envy, and I went into my own private practice, I went into a bit of a inside my crab shell period where I didn't want to interact with anybody else. I didn't want to do referrals. I didn't want to do networking. I just was going to get it figured out for myself. And I'm really grateful that I took that time, that time happened to correlate with the 2020 shutdown process.
It's a good time to go within yourself.
Let's go. And let's figure this out for myself. But I still get pulled right back into the need and desire to provide sustainable practices for other people. And that's not a one-woman job.
Absolutely
That leads to burnout. That's giving people the skill sets and the knowledge to be able to find a way, find their own path in this work.
Well, the work you're doing is symbiotic with what I'm trying to create here too. Have you heard about thriveeverywhere.com? Has our friend Casey told you about it?
No, tell me more.
Thank you. Yes. So I am in the process of creating an online platform that has a couple goals, but one of the main goals is to inspire more private practice to inspire more clinicians to go into private practice. So I also in 2020, that's when I launched my private practice because I was done. Healthcare was killing me, not slowly. It was taking years off my life. And since that time, I have found that I just have so much more energy to invest in other very important areas of my life outside of work, like my children and myself. And so I believe that healthcare needs a change. We need a paradigm shift. And I think one of the ways we can do that, it can be so easy to fall a victim and say, well, the system needs to change or the system's broken. Well, I can't reinvent that system. I'm trying to create a system over here. You can just walk across the street and join this system and then see what changes we can do together to make other providers have a good life where they're not being continuously drained. Their empathy is not being preyed upon by managers that are telling them how all these people need your help and there's no one else to do it. That is over. We can't do that anymore. Burnout in healthcare is real high. So I'm trying to inspire more people to go into private practice, but there's also an education piece for the general public, how to better navigate healthcare, how to advocate for themselves. And there's also going to be a directory specifically for private practice clinicians.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, it's the only private practice clinician directory around. We haven't launched yet. We're getting real close. My patent is on the search filters. So
Okay.
clients can come to this directory because often people don't know who can help them.
Mm-hmm.
And the primary care physicians are no longer the gatekeepers. You know,
Yeah.
I have direct access as a physical therapist, as a massage therapist. People don't need a referral. They can go straight to you, but they need to know that you can help them.
Yeah.
So clients can search based on their symptoms, their diagnosis if they have one,
Okay.
or the specialty services that they're looking for. So if someone wants biodynamic cranial sacral therapy,
Mm-hmm.
they can type that in, and any clinician that's registered on our website that's in their area will pop up.
That will be an amazing resource
I
for
hope
both
so.
the clients and the practitioners.
I
Is
sure
that
hope so.
Making that connection between clients and practitioners is one of the key things that slows people down
Yes.
from moving into private practice.
Exactly.
Is where am I going to find the
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
and how do I get connected?
You become a one-man show. The
Yeah.
marketer, the
Oh, yeah.
PR person, the HR person, the clinician themselves, the community. I mean, it's a lot. So we're trying to take away some of that burden from the clinicians
Mm-hmm.
so that they can focus on giving care.
And I love that story of how instead of fighting the system and draining all of your energy fighting something, you're creating something new and
Trying.
more sustainable and community based.
Yes.
And that is, I feel like what massage therapists have been doing for a really long time is I go to this acupuncturist, I go to this cranial sacral therapist. Like we have
Yes.
these back pocket recommendations that we can match clients with. So that's awesome that you're creating a online forum way for that to happen.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's something that I've been working on for a minute. So I'm really excited for it. It looks like it's coming to fruition very soon. But I don't want to make any promises or state any dates. I've done that before, but it's coming.
Okay.
It's coming. So listen. So anyone listening, thank you so much for joining us. I am going to share this with all of my audience of the private practice clinicians, trying to get them on board with the gathering group for Kate Northrup's class, Good with Money, joining the cohort with my friend Serena. And we're calling this group the
Gathering.
The Gathering.
The Gathering. We are gathering interesting souls.
Very interesting souls from what I see already. So check us out. We hope you too can learn how to manifest abundance with your money. Thank you for joining.
You guys killed it.
Woo!
That
Yeah.
was so good, dude. If I wasn't
What am I doing?